Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to another short story review. What if you had a superpower that could destroy people with your voice? In today's video, we're exploring a short story that's part dystopia, part dark fairy tale, and completely original. The story is Chung Serang's You Can Have My Voice. Translated into English by Jung Yewon. And so hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today, the story I'm talking about is a truly weird, wild, and very wonderful story. And it was again published as part of the Seoul International Writers Festival in 2020. And around the time of the festival, they made a selection of Korean short stories available online in English. The festival was themed Writing Tomorrow, and I think there were about 14 Korean writers and 10 or 11 international writers. And they were all stories about language and imagination. And You Can Have My Voice is absolutely bursting with imagination. So, who is Chung Serang? So, I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've ever mentioned Chung Serang. So, Chung debuted back in 2010 with a short story called Dream, Dream, Dream. Since then, she's gone on to write several novels and short story collections, most of which lean toward science fiction and speculative fiction in general. You might have heard her name because one of her most popular novels, which is called School Nurse An Eun Young, was adapted into an extremely strange and surreal Netflix series called The School Nurse Files. So you can watch The School Nurse Files on Netflix, but that novel hasn't actually been translated into English yet. You can read a section of that novel online on the Korean Literature Translation Institute's website, but the whole thing hasn't been or at least it hasn't been published in English yet. Anyway, Chung Serang has a very dedicated fan base, and it's easy to see why. So her work feels very fresh, very playful, very emotionally available. And even when it's tackling the darkest, strangest themes that you could possibly think of. And reading this story reminded me of when I, read the first time I read some, say, Pyun Hae Young stories, and I had thought, wow, this is really fantastic. I can't wait to read more by this person. So hopefully we'll get more Chung Serang translated and published in the near future. So what is this story actually about? So at its heart, this story is about a young man named Seungyun. He has a power that he never asked for, and it's a power that can cause unthinkable harm. And when the story begins, he is incarcerated in a government facility for people with supernatural abilities. He's given a choice. He can stay locked up forever in this facility, or he can undergo an operation that will take away his power and allow him to return to society. It's bizarre, it's dark, it's funny, it's sad. It's kind of like X-Men, as told by like Franz Kafka or something. I heard it described as a very bizarre version of The Little Mermaid, which is a great description for the story. It's very unique. But the tone of the story is what really kind of hooked me or really got me. So Chong blends sci-fi, horror, humor, and this sort of general tone of melancholy and sadness in a way that's pretty unique. I can't think of many other writers that are aiming at that particular bullseye, but it works extremely well. It's very effective. And I think this is this sort of strange area that she's aiming for is why Chong is so beloved by her legions of fans. And over the past decade or so, she's built a very passionate and dedicated following. And this story in particular really grabbed me, certainly from the very first few lines. It's very disturbing, but not in a kind of obvious way. It's sort of gets its hooks into you quite ingeniously. So you start reading and you're wondering what exactly is going on here, and then it hits you with how dark the situation really is, almost without you noticing it. And there's one paragraph early on that really stood out for me, and it's Seungyun describing all the ways people have died because of his voice. So his supernatural power is related to his voice, but the way that it's written, it's in this sort of deadpan, sort of twisted and hilarious kind of way. But it's sort of all blended together. And I think that's the magic of Chong's writing. She balances these conflicting feelings of horror and comedy, cruelty and beauty, without sort of seeming like the tone is kind of jumping around all over the place. And it's very hard to do, but she seems to do this very well. Yeah, so I thought it was a fantastic story. Can't wait to read more of Chong's other works. Have you read this story, or did you watch the Netflix show based on her novel? Or do you have any other favorite sci-fi shows or short stories? So let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more reviews, and hit the bell so you don't miss any more reviews. And I'll see you in the next video.